Let's see something creative. You had a whole bye week to get creative. Get funky with it, please.
Lightning and the thunder.
Get funky. Like you said, you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity.
Take the cigarette out of the mouth and burn his arm so you get that fumble, you get that recovery, you get the ball back. Stop going for it on fourth down. Take what's given to you and then take some more.
Paint me a picture. Tell me how the Detroit Lions could do it. I did do a little bit of homework. That's the one thing I wrote down. How they could win the game. JB and I got into a little bit, and you did spoke about it as well. We got to run the football. I talked about being a good head coach, especially having those 2 weeks to prepare. You should be able to do game plan something. And also, speaking of good head coaches, Bill Belichick. We talked about the Ray route a couple weeks ago. These guys leave elsewhere, and they're not as great because he puts guys in the situation to be great. We spoke about it earlier. Penei Sewell. What is he best at? Run blocking. Run the damn ball. Put him in an opportunity where he's going to win, where he's going to get that mental edge over Micah Parsons. Make it to where he has to move to another side of the line. Just switch it up. Hit the switch, like Drake said. But ultimately, the offensive side of the ball, I got to see them run the football. I got to see them feed T.J. Hockenson, keep it within house. That way you can keep running out that 13 personnel. The one running back, 3 tight ends, and spread it out. Get a little funky, too, by the way. And another reason why I want you to run the football is because when you guys run the football crazy like that against the Eagles, against the Commanders, you got to see Amon-Ra St. Brown hit some in-arounds. And that's something that's kind of missing out of this Ben Johnson offense, both from last year and the beginning of this year. Is why aren't we seeing the weird creative stuff that we used to? I'm seeing guys in fourth downs at other teams when I'm watching on the bye week last week. They're having guys go in motion that stop right away, get a direct snap, go for it on fourth down. But just give me some stuff like that. Let's see something creative. You had a whole bye week to get creative, to get funky with it. I know Amon-Ra was down. I know he was hurt. You have Khalif Raymond as a weapon. I mean, there's so many other pieces that you could just show us the Ben Johnson we saw last year. You know what I'm saying? Just do something different. Like you said, you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. That's the definition of insanity. Get funky with it, please. I need it for my well-being.
I mean, he's only struggled in one game this year.
As an offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, try. But I didn't see any of the funkiness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry to keep using that word, but that's the only way I can describe it. It's just put a receiver in the backfield. You're not double teaming anybody out of the backfield. I mean, you can't. You can't afford to. I just some of the stuff that we saw, the stuff that we tried breaking down week 2 when we put it up in the film. I forget the name now, but my guy with the Athletic, Tim Wynn, I think it was, and we were because our defensive coordinators were struggling to scheme for this team. And it felt like in New England, there was no creativity, and I don't know why.
If you want me to paint a picture for you of the Detroit Lions winning this game, it's going to be a very ugly picture, because that's what the Lions need to do to win this game. They need to make it ugly. They need to run the ball. They need to use DeAndre Swift. Hopefully he is recovered fully. Hopefully he is healthy. Hopefully he is who we saw in the first couple weeks of the season. They need to use Jamal Williams. They need to control the clock, control the pace of the game, and run the ball down the Dallas Cowboys' throat. And on the other side, on defense, what the Detroit Lions need to do to have success is, like you were saying, get funky. Change some things up.
Funky.
Send some stunts. Have Josh Pascal and John Kaminsky screaming up the middle of that offensive line with Aiden Hutchinson flying right behind them. You need to do things to confuse Dak Prescott. You need to do things to confuse the Dallas Cowboy offense. You can't go out there with a vanilla game plan and expect to beat a better team in their house. The Detroit Lions need to make this game ugly if they want to succeed. They need to do things. They need to create turnovers. They need to pick off Dak Prescott. They need to force a fumble from Ezekiel Elliott and get on top of those. And the one thing they cannot do is miss on opportunities given to them.
Yeah.
Whether that is a 4th down and 9 from the 15-yard line and you decide to go for it. No, you kick the field goal, you take the points. Whether that is a turnover, balls on the floor, balls on the field, balls out, and they don't land on it. You need to do everything you can, like the longest yard, take the cigarette out of the mouth and burn his arm so you get that fumble, you get that recovery, you get the ball back. Because the Detroit Lions will not be able to win this game if they go up to the Dallas Cowboys and try to win a punching match. It's not going to happen. You need to make it ugly, you need to control the clock, and you need to be opportunistic on defense.
Yeah. That's one thing, too, and I'm not there daily to see what's going on in the coaching, or practice, I should say, but like I remember when Darius Slay was here and Glover Quinn, they had those turnover drills. And I know everybody practiced turnover drills, but I know they emphasized it. And then next thing you know, the following year, GQ leading the league in interceptions. Darius Slay, tied for leading the league in interceptions the following year, too. Like, I don't know if like those stuff was being done, or what it is, or if I could truly point to talent and blame that. But they're getting 2 pieces of talent back this week, 3 pieces of talent back this week, and I know they're what, questionable or doubtful, if I'm not mistaken. Questionable. But from the turn, like hearing Dan Campbell speak, sounds like they're going to play. And then also, just from the beginning of the week, for the first time in Dan Campbell's life, it felt like he was holding like the news close to his vest. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't sharing it. But it's not, I expect Kaminsky, I expect Pascal and Jacobs to appear in this game. But on the defense side specifically, it's tougher to like point things or paint a picture there because there's not much to paint with. You talk about making a salad with spoiled vegetables. I'm trying to paint a picture now with no paint. You know what I'm saying? Like, or just dried up like little water paint. I mean, I don't even know. But since 2020, the Detroit Lions have had the worst defense in the NFL 2 times, including this year. And that's thanks to the fire sale that Matt Patricia was a part of. And then also Bob Dylan, I know it's Bob Quinn, but Bob Dylan not getting fair value back. That's probably why I got shit trades on the phone talking like that. Just, I don't know, bro. I can't paint the picture.
It's hard.
Defense.
It's hard to
really
paint. It's hard to look at this with a head coach who has never won a game on the road.
Yeah.
With a defensive team in the Cowboys, like I said, that has 10 players that have already recorded a sack. With one of the generational talents we've seen in the NFL recently in Micah Parsons leading that attack. And you expect me to paint a picture that a Jared Goff-led offense with the worst defense in the NFL can go to Dallas and get out a win. You're grasping at straws here. You need to pull something out of the fire. I gave you the cliches. Play ugly. Play dirty. Don't let them score. Obviously, score more points. Get turnovers. Run the clock. You need to do something completely different, something we have not seen out of this coaching staff.
Yeah.
Do what you did against Arizona at home. Because you made Arizona look stupid when they came into Detroit last year. So the Lions need to replicate that feeling, replicate that performance in Dallas, which is extremely tough to ask for, but it's something that you have to do if you want to be the New York Giants, the New York Jets, the Atlanta Falcons, the Jacksonville Jaguars, where you go and you win a game you're not supposed to. You need to do things to make the other team uncomfortable. You need to do things that scare that coaching staff. Stop being vanilla. Stop going for it on 4th down. Take what's given to you and then take some more. Because the Detroit Lions cannot do the same thing they've been doing all year and expect to get a win in Dallas.
Especially against the defense. And if I am painting that picture on the defense side of the ball, again with the water paint, because it's tough to paint in general, but Josh Pascal is the guy you saw in college. He's the guy you saw on tape. He's the guy you saw you could utilize in those NASCAR packages with John Kaminsky next to him, and Aiden Hutchinson, and I don't even know who the hell Austin Bryant at that point on the other side. He's the guy that rushed from the interior. He's a guy that's elite at run defense, because that's what he was in college. I could never call him like elite pass rusher, but for damn sure in the run, he on tape was nasty with it. Rushing from the inside and the outside. That is the picture I'd paint to you. I paint for you, I should say. The other one I paint as well is Jerry Jacobs. As much as we've been proud of Jeff Okudah this season, as much as we were proud of Ermanni Warrior last season, my guy Dosa Dion, this is a couple weeks back, Jerry Jacobs' numbers as a defender are actually better than both those guys. And keep in mind, too, like this is before Jeff Okudah got abused by my guy DK Metcalf. And I'm still taking shots at him because I'm a Detroit Lions fan, and I'm just going to keep it going that way. But that's the picture I'd paint for you. Jerry Jacobs returning. The reflection for Ermanni Warrior as well. I don't know if we're going to see him start, but I know we're going to see him play. You had 5 guys go down a couple weeks back in New England, but Jeff Okudah, oh man, he's up against it too, against CeeDee Lamb. Another picture I'd paint for you too on the defensive side of the ball is I don't know that we're going to see Dak Prescott slinging that thing. It is his first game back coming off an injury. You know, and the Dallas Cowboys are keeping a buck about it. Like, they do run the football well, both with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. So they'll probably lean heavily on that. And it's just up to you to stop that run and force him to get sloppy.
Get sloppy. It's what it is. It's going to need to be a sloppy game.
Yeah.
It's going to need to be an ugly game. Like I said, you can't expect to go toe-for-toe against a better team on the road and win. You're not there as a franchise. You're not there as a unit. You're not there as a team yet to where you can go into another team's house, expect to just play your game, do what you do, and get a win. You need to make things happen. And Micro Mike in the Woodward Sports Chat, shout out, says you got to stop the run.
Yeah.
Like you were saying.
Absolutely.
Ezekiel Elliott, he's not what he used to be, but he's still a load. He is still a guy that can bruise you. He's a guy that can take the ball up the middle. And then you add Tony Pollard as the lightning to his thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Tony Pollard is an elusive back. Tony Pollard is a guy who can get open, create havoc, can run, can catch the ball, can do multiple different things.
Isn't Schultz back this week too?
Schultz should be back this week as well. And I'm starting him in all formats. I'm starting Dak Prescott in all formats.
Detroit Lions are, like fantasy football-wise, awful against tight ends.
Awful.
Yeah.
They always have been.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you said. We need to stop the run and make Dak Prescott prove that surgically repaired thumb is not going to hinder him.
Mm-hmm.
That hand is ready to lace it and throw the ball.
Yeah.
Because if not, maybe something can happen, but still, the defense is what scares me, man.
I know.
The Cowboys' defense is so good.
Well, like just on both sides, right? Because like ours is so bad.
Yes.
Like, it's a rough situation, but I'm just going off the fact that it's their bye week. The road schedule, Dan Campbell being winless on the road, I don't buy too much into that because he has 4 wins as a head coach in total. You know what I'm saying? Like, the wins are coming, like, very rare regardless. He's had close games on the road. He tied Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin's a damn good coach. There was Mason Rudolph, though.
It was Mason Rudolph. And no T.J. Watt.
Yeah,
no Micah Fitzpatrick. Minka.
He wasn't there last year?
No. Well, he was hurt during our game.
Damn. I don't know, man. That's the way you want to run the football, too, right? Keep the ball out of their hands. It's just got to be opportunistic. Hopefully we see that. I hope the reflection works for Ermanni. I hope Jerry's what we saw last year. And I hope Jeff continues to be like who he was.